Heard some recent speculation about happenings at Glencore, and I'd like to add that to the agenda to see if we could publicly go on record and state whether or not the council has heard anything in terms of Glencore and possible upcoming work there. Have a discussion surrounding that. I would like to put it on the agenda for tonight. I think that would be helpful to the public to know whether or not we have.
There you go. Just a reminder to council to make sure your microphones are on when you're talking. I noticed in the feeds back, we can hear each other, but on the live streams, they can't. So there was a couple dead areas during the last meeting. Your microphone was on there. You're good.
Sometimes these microphones don't pick up right away. It takes after I push the button, it takes a few seconds for it to kick up. So watch for once your red light's on, you're okay to go. Okay, just take a look here. Were there any other additions or deletions? If not, we need a motion 04-1 to adopt the agenda with the changes.
I'll move that the agenda be adopted as amended with changes.
I'm going to try something different here because these things are really...
Oh, I'll second it, Mr. Mayor.
Moved by Tracy, second by Sandon. Questions on the motion? All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Motion carried. Okay, so we'll move on to, is there anyone with a conflict of interest in the agenda? Hearing none, we'll move on. No presentation. Okay, business under council. We'll start with Councillor Arsenault.
Okay, thank you, Mayor Noel. Just had heard there some speculation and concerning Glencore, and that's never helpful when when it's speculation and there's nothing really to back it, to deny it, or to say that it's actually fact. And so I thought, since I had received quite a few messages this weekend, I thought it would be helpful if we could say as a council whether or not we've received any sort of factual information that we could share with the public in terms of either work that's being done there now or work that is being anticipated. Personally, I haven't heard anything but speculation, and I don't want to speak to that. So I'm not going to, but if there's anything that the mayor or the CAO Lee could add to that, and it would be helpful also if there's nothing that we have heard officially, that I think that we mention that as well, because then that stops any of the speculation. So I'll leave it at that. I just wanted to introduce it that way. Thought it would be helpful, and I'll defer.
So are you talking about operations concerning the decommissioning of it, or other, from the administration perspective, we've not received any information on it.
Okay. So do you want me to address the speculation that I've heard?
Sure. I'll speak to it because I can tell you what's happening. I'm not aware. I got a call last week from Ned Bipperling, and the Smelter has made application to the province to start a couple of their small furnaces to treat some stuff that they have on site. If they get the okay to go ahead, it could mean anywhere from 2 to 4 months' work. And if and when they do get the okay to go ahead, they're going to make a public announcement and put out the thing for jobs for anyone who wants to apply. That was exactly what I heard last week. And he also is on vacation this week, so I don't know if anything came from it or whatever.
Okay, I would just add one thing to that. Thank you for that. I would say I've heard from some who are afraid that they will not have equal opportunity to get the work that's coming, if there is work coming, because of any role they may have played. And I think not forcing anyone's hand, but surely supporting locals and saying, regardless, everyone who qualifies and everyone who meets the criteria and the qualifications should be given equal access to the opportunities, especially our local people. We're in a position where we need to get some jobs here. Obviously, we've lost a lot in the last year, 8 months, and anything we can do to support our local men and women, we should do in whatever regard that is. But that's my point of view and my opinion anyway. Thank you.
Okay, thank you, Paul. Anyone have any other comments? If not, we'll move on. Councillor Carmichael.
Yes, for me, it's regarding the graduation banners and the graduation that our committee had done, or they did, the event committee. They did an amazing job doing it, and it didn't even come close to the budget that we had put out. With the flyers, banners, lumbers and supplies, small gifts for all the students, and the flowers, and all the expenses, that came up a little shy of $50 to $100, and I find that amazing. And it was beautiful. It was a beautiful day, and it was a nice ceremony, and the kids really enjoyed it. And I think it was very nice of putting this together. So I want to thank the event committee again. The job they do, and especially with this time with COVID, everything is so hard to get anything done, but they certainly, this was a success. So I want to thank them, and I just wanted to let the public know of the expense, which was very well looked after and maintained to make sure that we were at a good cost for all this.
Okay, thank you, Councillor Carmichael. Okay, CAO Lee.
Okay, so the only item that I have is actually more of a information update to council. I have reached out to RVA. We have gone back and forth since I pushed the information to council. So it was more of a funding discrepancy that we had. Essentially what had happened with our asset management plan, we had engaged RV Anderson to do that for us, and part of that process was they were to apply for funding on our behalf. When they were awarded the job, they applied for the funding and they proceeded to start all the work that they needed to do. FCM subsequently approved the funding later on. However, where the discrepancy was where RV Anderson began the work versus when they were approved for the work. The FCM considers the approval as the starting date. So there was work that was done previous to that. Now we're still eligible for funding, just about $20,000 in funding. However, the unfortunate part was that we were approved for $36,000. So there was money that was left on the table, which was rather disappointing. So I have gone back and forth with RVA. There is some additional work that can be done I'm a little bit hesitant just because, kind of once bitten, twice shy type of thing, but I'm going to entertain the proposal. I asked for them to, if there is additional work and there is additional funding that can be capitalized on, then I encourage them to put together a proposal, and I'll review that with council when that comes in. However, there could be other opportunities, I think, with other agencies that do the same thing that might be able to, all the raw data has been captured, all the stuff that we need to be able to start to execute on an asset management plan. But it is raw data, it is very difficult to use. There is a lot of potential that we could do to start to build it and flesh it out and put it into usable action. However, just so council is aware, there is going to be a shortfall on that funding, but there is about $19,500 that we are approved for. So we're going to inform FCM or inform RVA, to go ahead and process that funding. And when we do receive the next proposal in, then we'll review it more than likely with this in mind.
What was their main reason for not supplying all the funding that they approved?
Their main reason was the start dates. And to be honest with you, it's something that RV Anderson has actually been battling with them for quite a while. The plan was completed at the end of last year, and then we started the process for it. But essentially what it was from the time that the project had started, which would have been in early 2018, we received the go-ahead for the funding in July of 2018. So there was some work that had been done between January and July. So that was the funding that wasn't applicable.
Didn't meet the criteria.
Or sorry, that was the work that wasn't applicable to the funding. So that's essentially what it was. However, that's where we are. I suppose at the end of the day, it is, it's $19,543 that we are going to, that we are eligible to receive with our funding. So we're going to move forward on that and make sure that we at least capture that. And then we'll continue with the asset management development. But I think that it's worthwhile to review our options on that.
Yeah, I think so too. Anyway, just keep at it as much as we can.
And that's all I had.
That's it. Any questions for Landon, anyone? All right. Anyone have anything else they would? If not, we need motion 04-2. Mover and the seconder, please.
I move that the meeting is adjourned at 7:14.
Second by Tracy. Question? All those in favor signify by saying aye. Against, nay. Motion carried.